Welcome back, everyone. Remembering the sinking of the Titanic. You don't have to go too far to get a almost first-hand look at what it's all about starting next month with a huge exhibit at the Imagination Station, and 13 ABC proud to be part of that exhibit as well. Coincidentally, Lori Hauser's here from the Imagination Station. Good to see you, Lori.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming in. So here we are. Titanic, the official title of the exhibition is?
The Titanic and Artifact Exhibition.
Right,
yes.
And it begins next month. And this is one of the bigger ones that you've had come in, is it not, to the Imagination Station?
Yes, it's a blockbuster exhibition that we are thrilled to be hosting. It's a very powerful experience. You know, everybody's been captivated over the last 100 years about the story of Titanic, and we've had some great partners with yourself, with 13, and the Blade, and BP bringing it here to Northwest Ohio for everyone in the community to see.
And we'll be doing some stories. We have some local connections to the actual
there are some
situation.
Yeah, people that lived in this area that were actually connected or on Titanic, and working with the Maumee Valley Historical Society as well. So many stories to tell with it.
All comes together for this viewing that begins next month. And we've done a preview. We'll do more, but like you said, I think the world is fascinated with this story. And now the movie, you brought a lot of kids to it, right?
Yeah.
And wouldn't you say? I mean,
I think it refreshes it, you know, and puts it top of mind. But it is really, it's about those personal connections. And if you've seen the exhibition, there's some reenactments of first class, third class accommodations, but you get a boarding pass that has a person's name on it that actually boarded the Titanic, and then you can follow it through and find out what their fate was that tragic night, you know, and actually making that connection. If it was somebody that worked on the ship, that was in first class, third class accommodations, what did they do? And it was actually a person in their family, and finding out what happened, you know, that night.
And we get to meet John Smith, I understand?
Captain Smith will be there. We're actually working with a woman who is the great-granddaughter of Molly Brown, who's also coming in and being able to tell some personal stories from the family side of things. And it's been a great community partnership because, as I mentioned, you know, we have some wonderful partners, BP, 13, the Blade, but also Maumee Valley Historical Society, Sauter Village, the library, University of Toledo, all of the people coming together and doing some things in their own attractions, their own facilities, but also then some things at the Science Center. And the movie will be playing at the Valentine one night, and really kind of embracing
great place for it.
You know, it's a wonderful partnership with it, so we're very lucky and pleased with that.
Some great synergy of this community all kind of coming together here. How did the Imagination Station come to contract, say, let's go get this exhibit? There's been Grossology and the dinosaurs exhibit. And, I mean, what's the process in going to get something of this magnitude, bring it in and have it here for 5-6 months?
It's a long planning process. It's going out in advance and kind of looking at them, because you're also competing with other science centers to block off a certain time period. There's only, you know, so many exhibitions, so many time slots in the year that they travel. So we have to do some planning and kind of scouting for those exhibitions and what would fit in our space, what would be an attraction to our community, and then actually seeing what's available, if they're booked or not. Some of them book 5 years in advance. So you have to do some legwork.
Most importantly, do you have to say, is this a good draw? Right?
I think this is a wonderful draw. I think it's for all many different ages too. From the 4th grader who's studying something in history class and coming in, or a retiree that might be coming in with their spouse and going through the exhibition. So there's many age groups that would actually enjoy this experience. Looking
back, Lori, on the history of the Imagination Station, COSI before that, what has been the most successful run for an exhibition that you've had there?
You know, we've had a few, all different types of age groups with it coming in, or audiences. You know, you're dealing with Grossology. Those are great success with 4th grade boys. It's a wonderful topic with them. To something like some of the health exhibitions and doing that. We have really high hopes for Titanic, though. And over the last 4 years, this is one of the major blockbusters that we've been able to bring into the community.
I can tell you that Grossology, you know, as we do stories from the anchor desk, I mean, we're kind of grossed out. The adults, I'm not sure about it. Kids, I understand.
Yeah, they loved it, and we did different series of workshops. We'll do the same thing with Titanic. Like for Engineering Week, we'll deal with buoyancy, how icebergs form, how the ships form. So we'll take that apart, and they'll even be talking about inventions of the time period. I think this hits all
demographics.
I think it's wonderful for the entire community to actually reach out and embrace it.
How important is it to get exhibitions like that, in addition to the meat and potatoes of the Imagination Station? We have the mad scientist who comes in with Tony on the weekends.
Yes, yes.
Forgive me.
Yeah, he hasn't burned anything, right? No.
But I mean, that's your bread and butter, is it not? But this is the extra stuff that's really important to driving this book.
These are, you want to show what's fresh. You always want something new that's coming in, and being able to bring exhibitions like this are huge for us. So we did a lot of planning, and you don't see blockbusters like this coming every year into the Science Center. You know, our main focus is obviously inquiry-based learning skills and making sure we provide those tools for children. It's not just the schools that can do it. It's up to all of the community resources, the parents, and what they can do at home. But they can take advantage of exhibitions like Titanic or some of our permanent ones and actually work on those together. So you won't see something like this next year. We have to phase them in, so it's a wonderful year for the Science Center.
All right, let's talk about the history now of the Imagination Station as we go back to COSI. You came here 12 years ago, and it has not been, I mean, all peaches and cream, right?
Well, yeah, it's been a big learning experience in many different cases.
There have been some controversies, some funding issues, some taxing issues, but voters eventually did say yes. Yeah, I want to, you know, let's keep this Science Center in our community. So from a distance or looking at it from this perspective, it looks like the Imagination Station to me has found solid footing. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. I think that even looking at it since Imagination Station's reopening in the last 4 years, we did have some tragedies. We actually had some great learning experiences, and the worst possible thing happening and how we could learn from them and reaching out. And over the last 4 years, we've seen great growth. We've been able to invest $2 million worth of capital renovations into the building, bringing in traveling exhibitions like Titanic, but that helps from we do have a public levy that was renewed in 12, a 5-year operating levy, a wonderful board, the corporation support in the community, all have come together and all saying they want a Science Center in the community, and the way our residents have embraced it as well through memberships or visiting or summer camps and doing that, and we're seeing great momentum. And you know, 14 started off wonderful. We have Titanic coming in, and we have a private group with some other corporations that have funded a new Idea Lab, and it'll be a new lab that we're looking at investing, and that's over $1 million investment into the facility. So we're seeing that growth, and it's been tremendous over the last 4 years.
Can't rest on what you have. Always the next thing that you have to point to, right? So let's take a look at that next big thing and run down the dates. Jonathan, do we have that information? Titanic, the Artifact Exhibition at the Imagination Station. There's all the information right there, and you can just go to their website too, and you can get everything you need about this exhibition and everything else that is good about the Imagination Station. We look forward to being a partner on this particular one here, Lori.
Well, we're thrilled. There's curriculum guides for teachers. Everything is up there, and downloading those activities. They're free online. Please help yourself with those.
Congratulations on this one. Best of luck down the road.
Thank you very much.
All right.